Welcome to MetalVice in 666. I'm one of your hosts, Brian, joined with the other host,
Karen.
Karen, what are we talking about for this episode?
We're going to talk about some vocabulary for metal concerts.
Yes. So this, I think, spun out of your aunt telling you. She's like one of our only actual listeners week by week.
Yes.
And she, I think told you, early on, I didn't know what GA meant.
Yeah. Well, she texted me. So she was, I might have been our first or second episode. She texted me what's GA?
Yeah, and
so
there's a lot of terminology that we say back and forth that is it's common for us, and there's even stuff that we struggle with, like stage left, stage right, which we'll talk about here in a little bit maybe. So we just thought, hey, let's throw a little quick episode together about vocabulary. We'll try to get through as many as we can. There's a lot more that we don't even have on our list right now, but we might end up doing multiple of these as we learn more and whatnot. But
as we learn more?
Well, we learn
just
more.
Put together more.
That too, yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure there's some out there too that we don't even know about, or that we don't even think about. Because again, GA for us was just common knowledge, and for your aunt who is new to this was like, oh, I don't know what that necessarily means.
I get it. So that's what you mean by learn more.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So let's start the timer and just jump right in and go. So we'll start with GA, general admission. This is essentially a area of the concert venue that has no assigned seating. First come, first serve. Wherever you go is what you get, basically. You're going to move around. You're going to get jostled around based on how the crowds are interacting. You'll get as close as you can or far back as you can based on when you get there and what the size of the crowd is and how willing they are to let people pass type thing, right?
Yeah, but general admission could also be if there are seats, you just don't have an assigned seat.
That's true, too. Yeah, there's the place out, Mission Ballroom out in Denver that has the stadium seating that, again, that's true. I did say no seats, but it's not assigned seating.
Well, no, you said not assigned seating, but you said, and you would get jostled around how the crowd.
That's true, too.
And if you're sitting in a seat, you're not getting jostled around. You're just sitting in your seat.
So a viewing area where there is not assigned spot to either stand or sit.
Yeah, but generally when we buy tickets that are GA, it means a floor area, which we'll probably come to our next word.
Yeah,
but
what is that next word?
The floor, which is normally in front of the stage, and there's no seats at all. So it's just a floor. Or
what we call a floor, right?
Yeah, yeah.
We have seen some floors where it's half no seats, half seats, but those seats are assigned seating.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's on the floor. It's really weird, but in that scenario, the floor would be the floor.
Yeah.
Or it could be called the pit.
Yeah. We used to always call it the pit up until probably the last year or so. We'd always be we always get pit tickets or in the pit.
So pit's a weird one for me because to me, what is now referred to as the pit was always the floor or GA.
Yeah.
To me, that when you said floor or GA, to me that meant pit. Pit, it feels has evolved a little bit where pit is the no seating area right in front of the stage.
Yeah.
And typically now it seems like those are priced at a higher price point.
Yeah.
And that could be to, raise more money and whatnot.
Yeah. I'm thinking the amphitheaters. They call those pit tickets, which is they have all the seats, but then right in front of that they have I guess if you think about it with a play or even a musical or something, it's the orchestra pit.
Right.
So it's that area right in front of the stage. But yeah, most places now call it the floor.
The floor
or
the
GA
pit.
tickets. Yeah.
They call it I see it referred to as a pit, like you were saying, the amphitheaters, they call that little area the pit.
Yeah.
But they also have GA, which is the lawn. It's GA lawn.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So it's to me it was GA. So when I see GA when I'm buying tickets, I'm oh cool, I'm gonna get that front area. But no, I have to pay a lot more to get that pit area. So it's really weird how that word has evolved to me a little bit, because also pit used to mean for me mosh pit. If you said you were getting in a pit or going to the pit, it was you're getting in the mosh pit. You're not getting on to the floor or the GA area. That's something different. The pits take place in the floor and GA area.
Yeah.
But a pit to me was always a mosh pit. And now it's sort of a designated seating area, or standing area, not seating area, but viewing area, a designated viewing area.
Okay.
Do you not see it that way? Or?
Oh, no, I just got lost on how you were saying that. So,
okay.
Yeah, because we used to always call it the pit.
Did we?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever. I always called it GA or the floor, I thought.
Well, maybe I just used to always call it the
pit. So see, yeah, it's so weird when you hear it. Like I would always hear pit and think of mosh pit, not the first section in front of that was the GA or the floor.
Yeah, because I remember always talking to people because I would always just be like, oh yeah, we always get like pit tickets.
Oh, that's true. We would say it that way.
Yeah.
So it's so interchangeable in what you mean. It's like all based on the context. So
yeah.
Pit is one of those weird words where it has so much different meaning.
Yeah. But anyways, so we can talk about, so then we just mentioned pit also meaning like a mosh pit.
Right.
Which in my mind, if you think of a mosh pit, it's like where they're ping-ponging or pushing each other around.
Jumping into each other, bouncing into each other, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's like the basic mosh pit. When I think of mosh pit, that's exactly what I think of too.
Yeah. But then there's also where a lot of concerts get to is a circle pit, where people are just running or moving in a circle, not necessarily running, but
usually the crowd will start out like all densely packed together. A pit will start to open where like 3 or 4 people will start pushing into each other, and it will start to open. The pit will open where the floor starts to open up, and there becomes a bigger area for them to bounce into each other. Or as you said, circle pit, where they just fucking run in circles.
Yeah.
Doing gym laps for some reason. I don't like the circle pit as much. I like the mosh pit the most.
They can look really cool, especially at festivals and stuff. Like if you do like look, like with a huge crowd, but like at the Aragon or, you know, like a small venue, like
they do look really cool. Don't get me wrong. It's just
stupid.
To me, it's not as fun.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I've never done any of the pits. I've done one mosh pit once and got thrown on my ass and it hurt, so I've never done it again. But circle pits, I didn't like running, so I'm not gonna go run.
Yeah.
Additionally, though, there's also like the hardcore pit. I don't know if that's like an actual term for it, but that's what I call it.
Yeah, it's a different type of pitting.
It's like
or a different type of moshing, I should say.
It's more standard to that mosh pit style, right?
Yeah, I think it's like what you see on social media if they're like, oh, we're at a hardcore show and people are like throwing punches and kicking and
they'll come running out swinging their arms. It's sort of like that Simpsons episode where Bart and Lisa are like, I'm gonna start kicking, and if you get hit, it's your own fault. And then Bart's like, I'm gonna start swinging punches, and if you get hit, it's your own fault. And then Marge goes to break it up, and then Homer's like, arm to the pie, like, I'm gonna start eating, and if you get eaten, it's your own fault to the pie.
Okay. I've never seen that, so I don't know.
To me, that's what I think of whenever I see it. Is like just people running out, like throwing punches.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not here to hit anybody, but if you get hit, fuck you, type thing.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the hardcore pits.
I'm not either. I mean, because even like if you're just around the area, you have a chance of getting punched.
Yeah.
I think the first time we really experienced that was Denver Beer and Metal Fest last year.
Yeah, that was a harder core
There might have
show.
been a couple other times, but that was like the main one where it's like people were just out to get you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Again, of the 3, those are there might be other styles of pits, but those are the 3 that we're most commonly used to. The mosh pit for sure is the bouncing around that I enjoy the most, especially standing on the edge of the pit.
Yeah.
Which I guess, I don't know if there's a term for that, standing on the edge. There's like a pit enforcers and shit. Maybe that's what it is. The people who like, as you bounce into people, you push them back in type thing.
Yeah.
So.
That's kind of fun. That's how I like to experience it as well. I mean, but I've never been in the middle of it, so.
Same. Would you?
I don't know. I think about it, but then I know that first time that I got hit hard, not hit like punched, but just knocked into hard.
When you get thrown on the ground by
yeah. And then the tears start flowing.
Circle pit though, just running in circles.
Hell no.
You wouldn't do that either.
No. I didn't do that in gym. I'm not going to do it now.
Yeah, so we got through
like 5 words.
5 words. We have a few more on here. Like I said, there's a lot more words we don't have on our list
We'll call this part 1.
Yeah, part 1. We'll definitely do more of these. I know this is fun. I like this.
Yeah, it turned out okay.
Well, anyway, thanks. Go check out some live shows, and we'll see you around.
Join the pit. Bye.